Who in the heck do you think that you are? Who do you think that you are? But seriously, who do you think you are? Let's take a step back and really think about this. Who am I? Who I am is an assignment that I've made up in my own mind. An assignment that my brain has determined throughout the interactions that I've made in my reality from the past and up to this point. It makes sense that our past experiences and things that we have gone through would, in a sense, kind of inscribe into us this kind of detail as to who we are, this kind of personality, if you will. So I say again, who do you think that you are? And what if I also told you that it's not just past experiences that are determining this kind of inscription inside of you? This inscription that you're using to make decisions. In a sense, it's the kind of equation that you carry with you, that you use to mathematically pick the route that you will go. What will I do in this situation? Well, looking in the past, using all this kind of situational awareness that I've gained from these, now I will make this decision because this is what I have learned. This makes sense, but what if I told you it wasn't just the past? The past makes up a lot of who we are. And the future, we spend a lot of time thinking about that as well. That causes a lot of anxiety. Perhaps you've heard before that the past, when you're living in that, you're depressed. In the future, you're anxious. In the moment, you're at peace. Well, aside from that quote, just take that for more information to kind of bring what I'm trying to say here together, is that we project into the future an idea, an ideal self, a situational awareness that isn't existent now. And it's stemming from the past. We're almost never quite in the moment because we're constantly using the past to project the future and missing what is happening now, which is the power of it all, which is the place where this creation happens. And so I ask again, who are you? Who do you think that you are? We're basically, as I've said, creating this kind of mathematical equation that we carry with us into every decision, every moment, every breath, every feeling, every day, every night. We're deciding who we are as an identity. It's an identity that we have chosen for ourselves that changes over time. We all change. You can look between the last 4 years to now and you can see the drastic changes that have taken place, or perhaps you find yourself saying nothing's really changed. But when we really attune ourselves to this equation and this collective consciousness we're all a part of, if you can practice meditation, if you have any kind of situational awareness, if you have the ability to detach from your thoughts, you will see that they're not your own. You will see in a sense that that is not you. But taking it a step further, you'll start to notice that there are other thoughts coming into you, other equation, other math that's coming in and adding onto your equation of who you think you are. It's coming from outside of you, and you might wonder where that's coming from. It's coming from other people. Other people's thoughts can flow into your mind. Other bits of information can flow through you. So in a sense, you could look at it as you're, in a sense, taking on somebody else's personality. We are all kind of chameleons. We are all situational chameleons. We all are empaths at our core. We are all constantly Platoing into any situation we come into. And it's intelligence. When you think about it, it's survival, and it makes sense to have gotten us to the place that we are now, here, in this moment, in evolution, in time, in society. To be able to adapt is why we have adapted to survive. It is why we have survived. We are able to go into a situation and become that situation. We can change. It is beautiful and powerful to change. I have a tattoo of a tree on my arm. The reason, not that you're asking, but I'm telling you, is to remind me to be flexible. Because trees are. They sway in the wind, they're flexible, yet they still have roots. They know who they are, and they always stay rooted in that, but they still are able to flex. I believe that trees have a lot more intelligence to them than we do in that sense. Because we flex, but we forget the roots. We forget who we are. And so I ask again, who are you? Have you ever even felt your roots? Have you ever even thought about what those roots were? I'm not trying to make you feel like you're dumb if you haven't. I'm talking to myself here as well, as I tend to do in my videos. A lot of this is me talking to myself, I see. Who do you think you are? I get lost in it myself. I can wonder. Even now, going through these kind of spiritual practices and realization, it's hard to grasp who I am. A lot of this kind of detachment that I've made a video on about as well, it can kind of take you out of yourself, and there's a lot of profound beauty to that. But when you're so floaty up here, there needs to be a certain kind of here as well, so that you can meet up in a singular point in the center and be the destiny that is meant to be happening. But we have to know who we are. We have to be rooted. And I really have been thinking lately that none of us know who we are, really. And when I say none, I'm sure there's a few. But this is a difficult kind of thing. And I'm not trying to spin wheels here in a kind of upsetting fashion like personal crisis. Who am I? Who are we? Who are you? It's just something I've been thinking about lately. And I've been feeling that who we think we are has nothing to do with us at all. And the closer you get to detaching from it, the closer you get to this state of awareness where you realize what you really are is nothing. Am I trying to depress you and freak you out? No. You don't even have to agree with what I'm saying. It's okay. I see it in quite a beautiful way. We are nothing. Look at it like a blank page where nothing's written. We are profound and infinite possibility. There is no personality. There is no identity. Those are all choices that we're making, but this blank page is the truth of it all. There's this blank page that meets up from this point and this point right in the center. A blank page of possibility where anything can be written and you are the author. I'm totally butchering Shakespeare's quote here, I know, but this is just coming into my head. We're all actors, and this life is a stage. It's the truth. We're all acting. We're all existing in this movie, in this show, this cosmic dance. And we're acting. Maybe you don't think you're pretending to be something, but maybe we're method actors. Maybe as you start to write something, the pen continues to move. And so once you start, it finitely goes on and you become it. And we start to think that that's who we are. Look at many actors who have, in a sense, lost their mind, died to overdoses because they get so caught up in their role in a movie. We can look at them and say that that's crazy, but why we think that's crazy is perhaps because it's a reflection of our own identity. That this is a movie, that this is a show, that we're all actors, that we are all truly nothing but a blank page that there's a pen writing on. And so I ask again, who do you think you are? Because when we realize that we're a blank page, you realize that you're not even the handwriting on it. That perhaps the handwriting on the page that is you, the blank page that you are, is a hand that you can't fathom. A hand that we can speculate on. And I'm not getting religious here, I promise you. If you want to take it that way, that is the way that you can take it for sure. Because this is your show, this is your movie, this is your blank page. You are the writer. We all are writing our own stories, and while it seems quite obvious, I ask again, who do you think you are? Because when we become so certain of this role that we are, we lose the ability to take on other existences, other personalities, other lives, other actions. If there's something that you want to experience, you just have to write it. If there's a person that you want to be, you just have to write it. But first, you have to realize that what you are is a blank page. And maybe we're not the writer. Maybe not in the sense that you might think you are, in the sense that I can see my hand writing here. The reality of it is that we're somewhere outside of it all, observing. And there's a real power that comes to that. Who do you think you are? I don't really know who I am. But if I were really to get to the meat of it, and to really dig at the bones, I would say that I am a creator. I am the creator. I am an extension of this ink being put on the page. I am an actor in a show. And if you relate to this, if this makes sense to you, if this is an aha or simply something that is just being phrased in an understanding that you've already had, then maybe we're on to something here. There is no one singular truth that is true, but if you believe it to be, then it is. Because you are the writer, and this is your life, and this is the show. And I'm going to keep saying it. If I continue this video, I know I'll just keep saying the same thing. Don't get lost in yourself. Because yourself isn't real. Who we are is not real. Who we are is blank. It's nothing. That's empowering to know, because in that nothing you could be anything. But don't get lost in yourself. Don't spin yourself in a thought loop of who you are. Don't get too caught up in this defining of who you are, in defining that to the world around you, because that's the only thing that isn't real. There is no self. I don't think so, you know? I don't think so. But I'm writing my own story. And with understanding this, my writings can be way more true. True to what I want them to be. And that is what life should be. A story that you're writing. And it is that way whether you know it or not. But wouldn't it be cool to know that the choice was yours? So thank you so much for watching this little ramble I got going on here. Who do you think you are? Don't worry about it. Just let it go. Thanks for watching. Bye.